Okay, are we here? Are we tuned in? Hey everybody, it's Ted from Mob Rules. So the house is still kind of a mess, and so I was thinking about what I could possibly make a video on while putting minimal effort into things. And I thought about it, and what I figured I would do is I would talk to you about what air is made out of. Air is made out of a compound. No, I didn't decide that. So instead, what I would like to do, I was considering my goals this summer. I had this thing, the Summer of Orks. I probably didn't discuss it too much with you, but I put it on Twitter. It was going to be my, I was just going to focus on orcs. I didn't do a very good job of that. However, summer ends on September 21st officially. So we have a few days left, and I'm late making this video, so I get to take credit for an orc thing and feel better about myself. So what I'm hoping to do is do a video of transferring my Morkanauts into Gorkanauts. I don't know why that makes a Gorkanaut. But yeah, so I want to force myself to work on my orcs again and work on a project that I've been wanting to work on for a while, but I haven't worked on in like a year and a half. And that was my Morkanaut. And back in the day, at the day being a few months ago, Morkanauts were the shit. Like I loved Morkanauts. It was like the rare instance where an orc could actually hit something with a decent weapon because it was a blast template, and orcs' ballistic skill sucks. So it's it was awesome. That little template, strength 8, AP 1, just rocked house. Unfortunately, they got away from templates, and orcs suck at shooting, and the weapon gets hot. So I end up hurting myself half the time. Or 1/3 of the time, but anyway, so it's not a good scene. So I'm going to change my Morkanauts into Gorkanauts, but still make them modular. And that was something I didn't really care so much about before because I didn't really care about the Gorkanaut that much. But the Gorkanaut looks really good in this edition. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this and not review it, but I'm going to hold it up so you have a visual representation of what I'm going to do. And then we're going to instantly turn it into a mostly converted Morkanaut, and then that'll infuse me with the desire and the pressure to finish it before I die. Does that work? Does that work? Are you guys down with that? All right, let's open this box up and turn it into a Morkanaut. All right, so I got this really cool trick that I just learned, and I'm going to drop it, and it's going to transform into the thing that I want to turn into. Okay, that didn't work out. I've been watching You Suck at Cooking a lot, which is an awesome channel, and they do a thing where they drop it, and it just turns into whatever. So apparently I have to do more research other than just watch You Suck at Cooking. So, all right, we'll put that aside and pull out the model. Here is my Gorkanaut Morkanaut. Here, why don't you just come down here a little bit? Adjusties, adjusties. Okay, so here is, I gotta adjust that. Here's the Gorkanaut Morkanaut. All right, so like I said, I already started working on this guy like a long time ago. So this is my this is kind of, I want to show you where I'm at, and then quickly discuss like what I want to do to this guy, and hopefully that'll inspire you to either create some odd Gorkanaut Morkanauts or maybe give me some feedback, and because I'm kind of stuck, to be honest. Okay, so one of the first things I did, I really wanted to change the way, all right, this pops out, the belly works. So I didn't want to just have like doors that fly open, because I put one together pretty much stock, and I think like one is okay stock, but after that you really need to mess with it, because orcs don't really have an STC, so why the hell would everything be stock? So I wanted it to open like that, and I wanted to have like little jaw things. So I created a little jaw. I cut the doors open at the bottom, glued them together so they make a little hinge. And then there's little steps. I don't know if you see that. So there's little steps that get in there. I might try to put some more plates in there to really jazzercise it. But the idea is they boom right there. these open to the side, and then you had to create like hinges on the inside. Let's see if we can zoom in. So we got little hinges. So there's still like some little details. Like I want to put rivets and things on there. And let's see, get the ISO up, other direction. That's about as far as it gets. And then yeah, so that's kind of it. We put like a hinge right here. Can you see that? So we got a little hinge on the bottom, so it can kind of flop in and out. And it kind of friction fits, and it just like once you push it in there, it mostly stays. You know, that's that. And I kind of like that it has different teeth. So on this side, you just have like that plate that kind of comes up. I was gonna try and create like a this was gonna be the infrastructure. Like on this one right here, on the inside, there's like this this plate that sticks out a little bit, and then I use that to reinforce the panels on here. But yeah, I kind of like the fact that it was not even. So I wanted to have the arm kind of, oh, what was I gonna do? I think it was like twisted ever so slightly. So I did change I had to cut apart the rams and redo the rams. But honestly, it made such a minute difference that I would not do it again. I would just straight up not do it again. Like you don't even notice it, so what's the point? Like unless it's gonna be more exaggerated. Yeah, fuck that. So, but as you notice, there's a big difference here. So this arm comes off because I just haven't got around to gluing it. I'm gonna come up with some sort of orientation. Currently, I left it so that you could take. Let's zoom out a little bit. So you could take it and put it on either side. Like I want it to be modular. And so I didn't bother. I haven't committed to one direction or the other. So you could put it over here. You could do whatever. But it's so floppy that I gotta glue it. It's just at some point it's gotta happen. So that's kind of that. But let's get into like what this saw looks like. So this is my buzz saw, and I didn't want him to have a chomper hand. I want buzz saws. So this is the idea. There's a hydraulic ram that kind of pushes the saw in and out. It started off with, I think that was 2 pieces of plastic sheet that I glued together. And then I put the saw blades, which were 2 pieces kind of sandwiched over the main circle. And I kind of did, let's see if okay, yeah. So it's hard to see on here. Let's see if we could zoom in a little bit. Can you see there? Okay. So what I did is I actually took this piece of circle and I hooked it on a drill bit and I spun it. And so I was able to make these grooves that are right in there. I wish I did some more of that texturing. So on this side, I think I had already kind of like marred it up. You see in there, I kind of marred it up with an X-Acto knife, and it wasn't as perfect as the other side. So I would do the drill bit thing again instead of the trying to make a circle pattern. And then I kind of did like more of those textures on the blade, kind of mar it up like it's been chomping through some stuff. So that was that. And then of course, yeah, so the hydraulic rams, I think I already mentioned that it pushes it back and forth. And then there's like this cavity right here, so it can kind of recede in there. I tried to, let's see if we can zoom in there. You see on the opposite side of the gray plastic, kind of back over here. I try to make that choppy too, so I can make some little grooves to where it looked as though like this thing had gone too close and just chopped itself. Of course, we have some little jags. And this is like, it's such a pain in the butt to go through and do all this stuff, but it's kind of fun. Like I just love like chopping and marring like the edges of all this. So at some point I do still have some more rivets to put on the inside of here. I think the buzzsaw blades, oh yeah, the buzzsaw blades over here, I haven't even riveted hardly at all. But yeah, and like little tubes. And so that was a lot of fun. Like I had a blast making this thing. It's really, like I keep saying, and I get teased for, is that it's really not that hard to make these things. So just hop to it. It's just like, it is laborious. So there is that. Now the legs are, I wanted to go with like the old school dreadnought feel, orc dreadnought feel. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I did make some like these pistons. It's just different size plastic rod. but I wanted them to be able to function. So if you can see right there, that piston is moving in and out ever so slightly. This one is more stout, so or more rigid, so it's not, you know, caving in and out so quickly or so easily. See if this one is working. No, that one's pretty stiff. I'll glue these when I get to the final position. Actually, I did try to glue them, and this joint is not holding too well, so I'll probably have to do something else with that. Let's see. I do have to still put a plate or something in there, but I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the hydraulic rams. So like right here, like this toe, you know, there's a hydraulic rams, and then I have to do that with that in there. So I'm probably going to have those inside the foot versus on top of it, like on top of the toe right there. Let's see. So then, yeah, those hinges still work. I'm going to create some like little supports in there that kind of attach to the hinge a little bit. Lots of rivets, dude. It's gonna be like Zen hour times 100 as I just cut little rivets off. And I was like, this was so dumb, but I was creating like all these little squares for my iron hands. Like I was just putting like little squares on them. I don't know if I could show you. Oh yeah, like right there. So I was cutting those off, and some of them were too small, so I started putting them on this, and I was just gonna make like the checkered pattern all the way across. So at some point I'll chop those up and make even more of them. Let's see, what else to show you on this? Okay, well here's the interior. So I was kind of using the existing hole for the legs, and so it's just like, I think I like drilled out just a little bit so I could put that on there, and I could actually have this like twist and turn and stomp and everything. So I just created like a box, as you can see, like those little L brackets. That kind of gives, those little L brackets give you the stability for like the outside of the box. Yeah, and so it's got to be all decorated. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Like I did find like this plate off the Mega Knobs. So, you know, I'm just going to add more shit until it looks good. Probably put some tubes coming into the main body, the corpus of the Morkanaut Gorkanaut. But yeah, and I think like some of the plates, I think it's like nice, especially with orcs, to diversify. I always think of Dave Chappelle and the Wu-Tang, diversify your portfolio. But you gotta diversify, create some like, here's some diamond plate that I picked up from a hobby shop. So let's see. I don't know what else to show you. I think the hinges are kind of neat. I think I glued some of those in there already. Yeah, I think they're all glued. But it's usually just like two different pieces of plastic tube, or two different sizes, one inside the other, and then I kind of cap one side. And with orcs, it's really nice because like it doesn't have to be exact. If I were doing this for Marines, it's such a pain in the ass to make like an exact cap, but you could do that. And then just glue one side so it actually will hinge. Like I think this. Oh well, apparently it's glued enough to where I can't open it. Oh no, it's coming out. Okay, I'm gonna break it if I do any more. It's like just barely has a little bit of a wiggle room. So I do need to glue it again, pin it maybe. But yeah, this should flop back and forth. I'm using a lot of these L brackets for hinges and stuff, so that's kind of my brace for the hydraulic ram that goes to the foot. But yeah, you'll see a lot of those throughout my stuff, just because it's, I don't know, it's just like a good shape for working out, man. Just works everything out. So let's see, what else is there? I think there's a little bit of I-beam and stuff I use to create some of the toes, and I'm thinking I might just leave some of these open so you can kind of see that, you know, it's just slabs of metal. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to paint because I'll think like get down in there with like black or whatever. I might try to cover those. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. I haven't got that far yet. Some of those like way over here in this toe. Yeah, like way over here. I'm sorry, not the foot pad. Like I'll definitely have to fill that or cover it just because it looks so blah. Sometimes I do texture on the bottom, but it looks like I didn't here. Probably because I didn't realize what I was doing. Thought it was going to be just flat-footed. So this is kind of it so far. I haven't done anything else just yet. But what else is to show you or to tell you? I have the Morkanaut gun. It's pretty stock. You know, I looked at magnetizing it, and it just looked like it was gonna be so many pieces, and it was gonna be ridiculous to take apart and mess with. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna like scratch build the Gorkanaut gun. And I think that should be pretty easy. I do still have the piece of the, you know, there's that guy that it's like sighting on the back of it. So I could put that on to kind of give some continuity. But honestly, like the gun barrels that they have, like, you know, the barrel full of barrels, the several barrels full of barrels, I don't really like the look of it. I think it just looks too stock. It just looks too, like, they lack individuality. It just doesn't do it for me. So I'm really excited that this is going to be my opportunity to give those things some life and some orcish character. So that's really cool. And then I might do something different with the jaw, instead of just, because I think there's only the one jaw bone plate. So we can't have that. We can't have a lot of continuity on this guy. It has to be different and interesting on every part of him. So I'll definitely build like a different jaw. Like this is going to be like my other Gorkanaut. You know, he's stock. He's hella stock. As you can see here, you know, like I didn't do anything different with him. Like I started, I don't even think, is this eye? Yeah, the eye isn't even glued in there. It's just kind of sitting there, but you know. So this guy's gonna have different power. Oh, I didn't even realize he's actually taller. He's gonna have different smokestack or exhausts. And this guy has regular exhausts. So he's just gonna be stock. We're gonna, oh yeah. One of the things that I wanted to tell you was I got some extra knight shoulder pads. So I'm gonna put some knight shoulder pads on here. Like they looted a little bit of a knight. So this guy will have the regular shoulder pads, as you can see. And then this guy will have fancy shoulder pads because he's a baller and killed a freaking knight in his face. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you like to see different with the what is it, the Super Shooter? What would you like to, or is it Giga Shooter? I can't remember. I think it's Super Shooter. What would you like to see different? What are some of the things that you like about the kit? What are some of the conversions that you've seen that you really dig? I've seen a bunch that don't really incorporate the transport capacity. They just kind of make it into like a big robot. I don't really care too much for walking 6 figures up in one of these, and then having to wait a turn to disembark them. Like this just seems like such a waste on an orc vehicle, and the way it's done is, I don't know, it should be like the equivalent of a assault ramp, but you can't really assault. I don't know. They got to do something different with that, just to make it cool. Otherwise, I don't bother either. But I still believe in keeping that option. You know, like if you have a big robot and you're just like, it's a Gorkanaut, and I just don't haul anybody in it, then I'm like, that's not the model. And yeah, which I probably should be more understanding than that, but I'm not. I'm a dick. So anyway, let me know what you think. Have you seen some sweet conversions? What you'd like to see different? What you like about the model? What you don't? What isn't jiving with you? Go ahead and leave those in the comments. And that's it. That's kind of my hobby update. And hopefully in a couple weeks, maybe a week, I'll have something else to show you on this guy.